Hello. G'day. I suppose that's what we should say really, isn't it? G'day. G'day and welcome back to Flymanx videos. One guy gabbering his way around the world one flight at a time. So here we are. We are still in Auckland. Having arrived here a few days ago. We're on a remote stand. We're off to Queenstown. Something I was reading in the PMDG forums the other day about the new RNP approaches. I know what they are. I'm not going to try and describe them to you. I'll save that for someone who's probably more qualified in the new procedures than I am. I'm very much an ILS, tune it and fly it kind of guy. But they're in the flight management computers. So we're going to go down to Queenstown, which is an amazing approach. I've been looking at the approach charts. And depending on which way you go in and go out, it's a challenge, and we'll have to talk about that on the way down. So we're currently sat on the ramp. I was supposed to do all the ground stuff before I went on air, but I suddenly realised that I need to have lunch and do sort of normal life things. So it kind of messed up my plan. So we didn't. So I'm just popping 6.2 tons of fuel into the aircraft. That works. The FMC's kind of set up, although not completely. So I'm just going through it now. Today's zero fuel weight. It's a nice 55.5. That makes life nice and easy, doesn't it? I was supposed to check the transition. NZAA Auckland. The transition for Auckland, which is 13,000 feet. I should have remembered that, but never mind. Okay, so you're going to kind of catch, this is kind of how things work in my world. FS2 crew's already done its bits and bobs. I'm now catching up to it, and we're going to get it done. So, are we recording? We should just check. Yes, we are, and the right screen is up. That's very good. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're all going to jump across to PFPX, he says. So you can see that. Sorry about that. PFPX, and then we're going to send this flight plan to Top Cat because we could do with getting the runway stuff sorted. Today we're taking Mike Oscar Bravo Whiskey Sierra, which is my own painted 737-800 from PMDG. As you can see on the flight plans, 135 passengers, 2.5 tons of cargo, and that's about it. The weather in Auckland is not so bad today. The wind's coming from the north at 7 knots, although it is moving around. Actually, there's a bit of it's a northwesterly, isn't it? 280 to 340. The visibility is great, greater than 10 kilometres. There's a few clouds at 1,600 feet, and it's overcast at 6,000 feet. Temperature's 20 degrees. QNH 1008 with a tempo. This is from 1400, which that's an hour from now. 6,000 metres of rain broken at 1200. That's good to know, but we'll be gone long before the rain comes in. So we've updated the weather. So the weather update has put all that into Top Cat. Flaps 5. I just always flaps 5. I'm going to compute and see what comes out of it. So it's a flaps 5, takeoff 2. I mean, we've got bags of runway. And we're just going to go for a D rate of 39 degrees on. No, we're not. We're going to take a D rate. D-rate the engines to 22,000 pounds of thrust, and then we're going to tell it that it's 39 degrees outside. So, you need to come over with me, don't you? Otherwise you don't see it happen. There you go. So, there's a D-rate. So the engines now think they're smaller than they really are. 39 degrees. So that's we're only going to get 90% power out of the engines. Takeoff flaps 5, and trim today of 5.25. There's our V speeds. V1 and V rotate are the same at 137. V2 is 142. We'll pop that in up here. So flight director on, autopilot on, 142. The heading same as the runway. Match that up, and if we very quickly look at our departure chart, which is a I can't remember what it is. Quick check. It's a Leng to Papa. So you might as well come across to have a look with me. Leng to Papa. There's a Lengu. So it's a Lengo to Papa. So if we come down this bit, page 1, Lengo to Papa. Here we go. So we're going to Cappy. It doesn't actually say with initial climb. So actually initial climb flight level 250. Well, that makes things nice and easy, doesn't it? 250 on the initial climb. So we'll just go with that. We'll leave it at 10,000 feet for now. It'll give us something to do once we get off the ground. And as it is... put his flight director on, and we might as well engage LNAV and VNAV, although we won't be in those modes for too long, just on how I fly these days. So, the flight management computer is sorted. I've checked the oxygen, the parking brake's been set, the IRSs are on. It's time to run the pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist, please.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Navigation, transfer and display switches. Normal, auto. Window heat, on. Pressurization mode selector, auto. Flight instruments.
Set.
Heading 053, altimeter 2980.
Oh, it's in the wrong
Parking
mode.
brake.
1008 that should be. 1009, that's fair enough. Parking brake set.
Set.
Engine start levers.
They're down there and cut off.
Pre-flight checklist complete.
That's good, so we just wait for the APU to fire up so that we can disconnect the GPU and everything else. Because I should set that. Because I hadn't set the FMC in time for the first officer to do it, that never happened. So you have to check that sometimes, because that can catch you unawares. It looks like the doors are closed, but the air stairs are open. Let's go outside, actually. Oh, you never came back. Look at that. That's terrible. I need to remember that. I really could do with a third screen. Now I've got 2 screens. I could do with 3 screens. How fun is that? There you go. Welcome back. Sorry about that. So there you go. There's my Flymanx, self-painted. Oh, aircraft. It has got some inaccuracies. There are a few things that are wrong with it. And it doesn't like FS2 crew too much. I think it's the way I've set it up. But never mind. Let's get this lot out of the way and we can push back. So... there you go. He knows it's coming. So he's... fuel pumps are on. That sounds like it's the final trim sheet coming through.
Here's the load sheet.
Oh. Fair enough. We need to brief the departure as well. So we'll let him do the before start procedure.
Mind your leg, please.
Oh, mind your leg is to spin the trim wheel. Hopefully he's going to take that down to 5.25. Right, do you? Good lad.
Okay, verified takeoff speeds. Confirm you're happy.
So just check those. 137, 137, 142. That's what we expected. Yeah, I'm happy with those. Check.
Checked.
So what we'll do now is, once he's finished doing, it looks like he's already pressurised the aircraft. And this is because I'm doing things out of sequence because I was too busy buying a new camera. And hopefully you can also see that I'm a bit brighter today. I put a light on. I've got a light to make me a little bit brighter. I'm not quite sure what we're waiting for. Apart from Christmas. We're in for a long wait. There we go. That's him done. Right, it's play the brief and we'll get going.
Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, it's going to be a standard pushback and start off the stand. Taxi route will be as assigned by ATC. It'll be a left seat takeoff using derated thrust. Planning of flaps 5 takeoff. Anti-ice will be off. Standard reject actions to V1 as briefed. From V1, or if the call is to continue, I will continue the takeoff as per the standard company procedures. The engine out procedure today is as per the chart. We are under our maximum landing weight, so we're okay to make an immediate return. Okay, all going well, the departure routing will be via the ATC assigned SID, complying with all published speed and altitude restrictions. We'll use NADP2. Flight directors are on, mine is master, yours is slave. Navigation radios are set and the NOTAMs and aircraft defect log have been reviewed. Okay, any questions, comments or concerns?
None at all.
Departure brief complete.
Okay, so that's pretty much all of that. Oh, not that one, that one, that one. Thank you. So it's the auxiliary power unit now connected. So what we can do is we can go for the ground and oh no, audio link. So we need to hit the flight button. Disconnect all.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Please disconnect the GPU and air.
Roger, disconnecting the GPU and the air. Captain, the GPU and the air are disconnected.
There's
Thanks.
a good lad. Alright, so I'm just bringing up the airport chart on that.
Locking gear.
So he's good to go. We might as well just
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Are we clear to pressurise the hydraulics?
Roger, you're clear to pressurize the hydraulics.
Thanks. Before start checklist to the line.
Before start checklist to the line. Fuel 6.2 tons. Pumps on. Passenger signs on. Windows
Windows are locked.
Locked.
locked. MCP
V2 is 142. Heading 234. Altitude 10,000.
checked. Takeoff speeds
V1 is 137. VR is 137. V2 is 142.
checked. CDU pre-flight.
Completed.
Rudder and aileron trim.
3 and 0.
3 and 0.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Before start checklist completed to the line.
Alright, so the I've started up my ACAR system for air source. The tug is connected. You heard him text. He's over there. He's waiting for us to disconnect the parking brake. So we'll
Before start
carry on.
checklist below the line.
Flight deck door closed and locked. Anti-collision light on. Before start checklist complete.
And the air stairs are still down. Look at that. That wouldn't have cost much money, would it?
Release parking brakes.
Alright, so we're good to go. Brakes off.
Push. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
So, as always, in this, so it's 2 then 1.
Start sequence is 2, then 1.
Check.
Start engine 2.
Starting 2.
So I'm looking for 20% of N2 before I put the fuel on this one. Not like the 777 where it sorts it out itself. You do have to just wait. So you see, oil pressure's rising. There's less oil in this engine. Oh, too busy talking. So the fuel's now going in. Cheeky look up. There's a taxiway. So we're taking 2-3 right, so we're going to go off to our left. Up there. That's the starter cutout.
Starter cutout.
So I always like to isolate a pack. That puts air into the cabin straight away.
Isolated pack.
Packed, isolated.
On the real aircraft, it would come down to how hot it is outside. If it's not actually that hot, then you wouldn't necessarily have to worry about putting the air through. But I like to keep the passengers comfortable.
Start engine 1.
Starting 1.
So that goes into. Oil pressure's rising. Keep me on at this time. Set parking brake. And again, I need to reiterate, I don't necessarily do things exactly by the book. I kind of develop my own way of doing things in my own flight simulator world. I am the CAA/FAA, so if I don't necessarily do things the way you expect them to be done in the real world, for that I apologise. But it's my sim, isn't it?
Unlocking gear.
So we're just waiting for the engines, the start switch to cut out. There it goes.
Starter cut out.
Connected. Bypass main route.
Flaps 5.
So flaps 5 gets the co-pilot to do his before takeoff flow. Mine would be to check the ailerons, elevators and rudder.
Clear. Right is clear.
So you can see it down here visually. Here comes the flight control check.
Flight controls check.
So 4 left,
4 left.
4 right,
4 right.
and centre.
Centre.
Check.
Full
Full
up,
up.
full down,
Centre.
Check.
and we'll go outside so you can see the rudder. Oh. So 4
Full
left,
left.
4
Full
right,
right.
centre.
Centre.
Check.
Before taxi checklist, please.
Before taxi checklist. Generators on. Propane on. Anti-ice off. Isolation valve auto. Engine start switches continuous. Recall checked. Auto brake. RTO. Engine start levers.
Idle detents.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked.
Dispatch clearance.
Checked.
Checked.
Before taxi checklist complete.
And the pushback truck's back in position. The guy's gone, so we're clear on
Clear
the
left.
Clear right.
And it's up to me on this one to put the taxi light on. And anyone that's seen the videos of me flying around Germany would know how bad I am at remembering to put lights on. Alright, we're looking good, let's go. Let's get this show on the road. I miss the 767. Does everybody else miss the 767 from level D? I think I've just about got more hours in the 7.3 now than I had in the 7.6. So we're literally taking Bravo all the way to Alpha 1. This is Bravo 6, so we don't have too far to go. And it's funny, because where you fly so many different types of aircraft, you kind of get... there's crossover in what you do, so I quite often end up doing the before takeoff checklist as soon as I've left the apron on this. Because that's what you do in the 777. Sometimes I wait for the cabin crew to say, hey, we're ready. But in this thing, in Whiskey Sierra, because of how I've not done something right, they don't always tell me they're ready, and I get told off at departure because the cabin crew aren't seated. They probably sat on T-tray surfing. It really happens. So this is Auckland stock scenery. There's nothing going on down here. FX Global's all we've got. So we've got like 3,500 feet of runway, which is more than enough for this. So there you go. Oh, the cabin already.
The cabin is secure.
I'm surprised by that.
Before takeoff checklist, please.
Flaps.
Flaps 5. Green light.
Stabilizer trim.
6.0 units.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
I'll just drop that down a bit. When he says flaps 5 green light, what we're looking at is the leading edge are extended. I actually always thought it was French. Le flaps extension. But no, it turns out the LE is the leading edge. So there we are. So here's the end of the runway coming up. Some more power on. So if you are on Twitch, we're going to go right the way through. He says, looking at the time. if you're on Twitch, we can go right the way through. If you're on YouTube, this will be a two-part video. I'm not necessarily sure that it will work as a full flight video. So we'll do the departure, we'll say bye to the YouTubers, and then the YouTubers can come and join us later on when we make our approach. Which, let's be honest, that's what we were here for, is the Queenstown approach. I was looking at it last night in a F22, and it's just immense. And actually, I also looked at it in X-plane. The airport's not so good. The airport itself isn't so good in X-plane, but the scenery is just stunning. So what we might do is take my 737-300 out on the return. You may be wondering actually why I'm doing this flight in a I'm going to take this one, Bravo one, but that'll do. Yeah, that's enough. You may be wondering why I'm doing it in a 737 and not an A320. I'm a bit of a butterfingers with the Airbus. I'm not a fan of Airbus, never have been, and I struggle with it. So rather than Queenstown's going to be difficult enough anyway.
Before takeoff, procedure. Check.
Flying in. So without making it an Airbus as well and faffing with the FMC, with this I know what I'm doing with the 73. So that's what we're going to go for. Okay, so he's
ready to go.
Strobes on, he's all good, he's all set. I'm good to go, there's nothing on the approach. Quick check, clear to line up. And we're going to wait. So, make sure we're in the right position. So straight ahead, and then let's just get on with it, shall we? So advanced throttles 40% N1. Hit the toga switch. So you see it says N1 and toga in the display.
Set takeoff thrust.
And don't forget to start the clock.
Thrust set.
And then actually steer the aircraft. Staying on the runway is quite important at this point.
80 knots.
Checked.
Certainly moving around a bit.
V1. Rotate. Positive right.
You're up. Kidding me. So we're literally climbing 1,500 feet. I think at 1,500 feet, climb power kicks in. There you go. So we'll just pitch the nose down. I'll use the trim wheel. Let the aircraft accelerate.
Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
It's actually a nice simple departure, this one. You just concentrate on pitch.
Flaps up.
Flaps up.
At least the gear's up this time. So again, now the flaps are up. We are going for 250 knots. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give control to the autopilot. Well, that pitched a bit sharp, didn't it? After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds on. Packs. Auto. Landing gear up and off. Flaps up, no lights. After takeoff checklist complete.
So it did pitch quite hard, and it shot straight up for like 4,500 feet climb rate. And I've been doing some
Are you
reading.
happy to release the cabin?
Yeah, we can release the cabin.
Yes.
Check.
And so what I've read and what I've understood in the time that I've spent in cockpit is actually, whilst it's nice to climb as quickly as you can to altitude, it's not always that easy when you're in busy terminal spaces. So the way I tend to operate these days is on vertical speed below 10,000 feet. So depending on how heavy the aircraft is, what the aircraft is, I'll set it sort of 1,800, 2,500 feet a minute, and it's more of a manageable climb rate for air traffic really. I've been on the 737 climbing at 6,000 feet a minute, and phenomenally amazing, and it felt like a space rocket when we shot up to 19,000 feet. But yeah, again, it's my procedure. It kind of matches the real world, but it's not so important. As long as you remember to manage the speed, because the aircraft's going to keep climbing at 2.5 regardless of the speed. So lateral navigation's still in, so it's made the turn.
Thousand level.
Okay. Let that come up now. We're off to 38,000 feet today. Given that our initial flight level was really high, we'll just go straight for it. So 10,000 feet, land lights off. Let the speed increase, and what we'll do now is we'll set that to 290 and level change.
Are you happy to release the cabin?
Yes.
Check.
Detune minutes.
Roger.
So this is active sky next with the Rex soft clouds. Like the Rex has got going on. Such a difference to X-Plane at the moment, it really is. And in fact, if active sky next did something for X-Plane, I'd be all over it, and it would really make X-Plane something else. I know there's other programs, but at the moment I don't fancy spending as much money, more money than the sim's worth, on weather generally. In fact, all I want is to be able to know what the weather's doing. I find that quite hard on X-Plane, but that's for another conversation for the next topic when we actually use X-Plane. So there we go, we're now at 290, we're just climbing through the clouds. There's not so much to do. What we do need to do though is set standard.
Set standard.
Standard set. Passing flight level 135 now.
Check.
Is try and have a look at our approach into Queenstown. So as you that's the Queenstown chart. You see, you've got less than 2,000 meters of runway, which is like just under 6,000 feet, which isn't much. When you look at the stars, and we're going to be using the Ubdam 1 Bravo today, we're coming down from Dovot. That's our initial point. That's the end of our route. So we're going to come down to Ubdam, and we need to be above flight level 150. And then we turn in. Now let's see if we can zoom in. So we're going to make the turn. And we're just got to follow this down. We need to be at Mabga between 11,000 and 12,000 feet. And then we'll get to Ugped. Now, this is where, for me, it all gets a bit interesting. because this is where I start getting out of my depth, and is what's going to make for a very interesting approach video on YouTube later on, which I'm sure we will all watch 100 times. So from Ugped, between 10,000 and 12,000 feet, and we're literally going to follow this around and down to there, and then it's, for me, I'm confused. The FMC's going to have it all programmed in. The FMC's going to know what it's doing. I'm not necessarily going to know what I'm doing. So, so as you can see, yeah, I don't know. This is the one we're using. We're going to be using the RNAV-G. I'd like to know why we've got FG and H and what FG and H stands for. Answer on a postcard if you know. If you look here, in fact, let me just, I tell you where we got lost and why I got confused. So we're going to get to here, and at this point, see this dotted line? That's what this is. So we're going to go around in a nice big circle, around a 2,000 foot, this here is 2,600 feet. So we're going to go around that, nice and tight, and then go in for the approach. I'm not sure if I have to do that by hand, or if the FMC's going to do most of the donkey work, and I just have to manage it and keep the speed down. I don't know. But, why not? Why not? Let's get back to the sim. I mean, really, what's the worst that can happen? At the end of the day, we do this because we're not professional pilots. And the only way we can get competent and stuff is to do the things that challenge us. So, and I'm not the sort of guy that likes an engine failure, or my packs to stop working, or a door to blow out, or stuff. So, I'd rather have a fun with a funky approach. What we'll do, because there's not many legs, as you can see, we've got 3 points on our approach car, is just put it in. So the weather down there isn't on the flight plan for some reason, but checking Active Sky next, the latest weather at 1300Z was 3, oh no, hang on, wrong place, NZQN. 1315 Zulu, 275 at 15 knots, visibility is greater than 10 kilometres or more, few at 3,000, scattered at 11,800, temperature is 10 degrees, dew point is 3 degrees, with a QNH of 0.999. So, that's not so bad. We can use 2-3. We're going to be using the UBDA 1 Bravo. And we're using the dot transition. RNAV F23, I believe. Or there's G or H. See, this is where I get confused. The difference between F, G and H. Let's transition back to the desktop. F, G, and H. Let's yeah, see, I have no idea. It's outside of my scope of knowledge. So if you know, you could leave me a comment. That'd be awesome. However, 2-3. He's from the north, isn't he? Yeah, 2-3. That's what I thought. So we are coming in from the northerly side of the mountains. So we are going to go that way to the Ugped. I might just take the G In there, round, down, and then we do the loop, like that. Alright. Let's go for the G. You need to come back with me, don't you? Otherwise you're not going to see what I'm doing. There you go. Boom. So the FMC is now programmed. .603 to runway 23 with 3.3 mile glide slope. The thing is at 603, when you go back to the chart. Oh, I thought that was 603. Now there's 603. So as far as the FMC is concerned, it's going to go from there to there in the space of 4,000 feet. But we know we can't do that. We know we've got to go round. We've got to go round. There you go. No descent path after 603. So that's fine, he says. We'll work it out. I'm surprised there's no QN611 point in there. In fact, there's QN611 afterwards. Interesting. Okay. Oh well. Alright, so if this is, if you're on YouTube and you've been watching this, thank you. Like, comment, subscribe and look for the next video. I think it's been very interesting as to how we deal with that. So, yeah, YouTube, thanks very much. Speak to you soon.